Are you ready for playoffs? This week, we would like to welcome you all back to our next episode of Uncivil Discourse. Wrapping up our regular season and heading into playoffs, we are hosted by myself, Lee from Dead Man's Hand,
myself from the Ghost Legion,
and me, your favorite bunny from Thumper's Revenge.
I have to say, I am so incredibly excited about these playoffs. We have great teams. We have players in the A-side playoffs that have never been there before, and a stacked Division B. Might be some of the best games of the entire season.
I'm kind of partial to D Division because it's usually the most fun games.
No. C-side is best side. That is Laura's words, so I'm sticking it to it, unless you're changing them this year.
I don't know, I'm not in C-side this year. I can't say if it's the best side.
Shall we get into her then?
This week's special announcements is I want to thank everybody for a great season. Drama Mama free. There has been no major arguing, there's been no major problems. Everybody has brought forward any concerns they found in the packet on a reasonable speed and manner. We've been able to correct a lot of problems, and there really weren't that many. This was great this year. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody, for being decent human beings and responsible players.
We had a few people put in for what they thought was the Easter egg that we had in the packet. Jared happened to ping on it with his correct guess of being able to nominate people the entire year for all of our awards at the end instead of trying to rush at the end and remember who you played in week 1. So thank you everybody for all of your different submissions. Keep an eye on next year's packet because we might have more than one.
Let's take a look and see how those final 10 matches wrap up.
Game number 1. Cats Cavalry versus Clan Cobra Chickens. They fought on the Grasslands Arena 20. This game ended with a 3-2 final score for the Cavalry, using pretty much only the Blood Asp to get his kills today.
Game number 2, the 4th Taurian Protectorate versus Odin's Chosen. Grasslands are popular as these two match up in Arena 22, the second of our 3 grassland maps. We need better names for these arenas. Swinging from the bleachers, the 4th Taurian Protectorate put a win on the scoreboard with a 2-0 final score.
Game number 3, the Wolfpack versus Lights Out. Scared of the arena that they were assigned by fate, these two instead battled on the default battleground. Seems like it was a good choice as they pull out a 3-3 tie, with both assault mechs claiming a pair of kills, the Night Star claiming its second in the last moment of the match. Prop and firing with one arm, putting a gauze slug through the cockpit of the King Crab to tie the game.
Game number 4, we have the Elk Riders versus Laser Force. These friends met in the Central Park and throw down, with the Laser Force bringing some luck, and the Riders doing what the Riders do without any luck at all. Game ends in a 2-0 win for Laser Force today, with 2 kills due to lucky ammo explosion criticals.
Game number 5, the Blitzkrieg Jezebels versus the Black Wake. Looking at the Bloody Basin, and nope. Our default arena was selected for this matchup. Kind of laid back day with, at one point, the Marauder and the Crockett just chilling on the ground, watching the world pass them by. Game wraps up with a 3-1 Black Wake victory.
Game number 6, Ansgar's Outlaws going up against Yogi's Jaegers. Lunar Bullshit is the arena of this match. Clanners in space. The Outlaws pull a gunslinger move, with Jupiter putting 2 ERPPC shots through the cockpit of 2 different mechs today. But that's not enough to win, as they lose. Congrats to Jaegers on a 3-2 final score taking home the W.
Game number 7, we have the Neon Grizzlies up against the Lyran Rangers. Another day for the clans to revisit the Radis River Valley. This time they take home a 4-2 win as the Grizzlies maul the Rangers for that picnic basket. This match might have had the outcome written by Hanna-Barbera.
Game number 8, Thumper's Revenge versus League of Robots. One of our prettier maps, Arena 27, the Mines host this match. While lots of fire was had, this game ends in a 0-0 tie.
Game number 9, the Collection Agency versus Hank's Handies. Not much to see here due to mutual illness. That's what you get for traveling so much, Cal. This game is not fought and ends in a 2-2 by tie.
Game number 10, we see the Wendigos Night Stalkers up against the Scions of Amaris. Pew pew, pew 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 pew. The Templar enters the Gravel Experience and does all the damage today, leading the Scions to a 4-1 win and claiming 3 kills by itself, taking off 2 heads with the heavy PPC fire and combining fire for the center torso for the 3rd kill.
Game number 11, Ward's Werewolves versus the Ghost Legion. The Unending Hills are good for me, as this lucky Arena number 13 gets the Ghost Legion to bring home a 4-2 victory. The Werewolves Marauder claiming both kills as it kicked the Charger in the face and eliminated the quick draw with fire for that side of the game. Don't let the score fool you though, this game was not looking good for our intrepid heroes out of the get-go. Turn number 5, the quick draw takes 110 out of a possible 120 points of damage. Turn number 6, the Direwolf rips the right arm and the left leg off of the Wolverine while it's killing the Huntsman. And the Wolverine further goes on to get 2 more kills that match, missing 2 limbs. It was an uphill battle for the Draconis Combine today, for sure.
Game number 12, Neutral Reavers versus the Ristons Rogues. Arena 31, the Plaza, has a 4-0 Reavers victory.
Game number 13, the Dead Man's Hand versus the Red Suns Irregulars. Let's go to the mountains and have lunch by the lakes, eh? It'll be fun, they said, eh? Not so much, as the sun sets for the Irregulars, a 4-1 loss to the Dead Man's Hand. It was actually a fantastic match. Gary and I had a lot of fun. There's some really good back and forth fire, and in the end I got lucky and was able to take out a couple of his mechs that were really pressuring me, and in the end was able to take out the win.
Game number 14, the Ice Creamers versus Paxton's Pathfinders, fighting over the Alien World Arena number 3, one of our oldest arenas. The Pathfinders, however, get creamed today. Ice creamed. This match ends in a 4-1 ice cream victory.
Don't worry, folks. There's only 3 more matches he can use ice cream puns, and then we can move on to something else.
You're assuming Aaron makes it past round 1 of playoffs.
Or changes his name for next season. Game number 15, Steel Shod Shamble versus House Psychotic Weasel. This match brought to you by the Grasslands. Oh, Grasslands 1, which thankfully has been renamed Dead Man's Flats for next season. The match plays out with a 4-0 Steel Shod Shamble victory.
And rounding out Game 10's week, we have game number 16. First, Alliance Grenadiers up against the Warthog's Revenge. Area 28, the Devil's Bath, hosts this game today. The First Alliance are pulling out all the stops to fight their way into the A-side playoffs with a 4-0 victory here.
Woot woot!
And now that we've done the recap for all of the Game 10s, now we have the final standings for Killer's Corner bragging rights.
Woohoo!
Woot woot woot!
In first place ranking, Cat's Nightingale Cavalry Blood Asp. 11 kills for, 0 kills against. Differential of 11. In second place, we have Ghost Legion's Wolverine with 15 kills for, unfortunately 4 deaths, with also a differential of 11. And in third place, Dead Man's Hand's Banshee. Also 15 kills for, but had 5 deaths with a differential of 10. And 4th place, we have Neutral Reaver's Dragonfly with 11 kills for 2 deaths for a differential of 9.
That'll take us to 5th place. The Neon Grizzlies rocking in with Kodiak. 13 kills, 4 deaths for a differential of 9. The Ansgar's Outlaws Jupiter pulls in slot 6. 9 kills, 1 death, 8 differential. 7th place goes to the Black Wake, the Crockett, with 9 kills, 1 death, and an 8-point differential. 8th place is the First Alliance Grenadiers Penetrator with 12 kills, 4 deaths, also an 8-point differential.
9th place is brought up by the Ice Creamers Zeus. 10 kills with only 2 deaths, with also an 8-point differential. 10th place is taken up by the Neutral Reaver's Tomahawk with 12 kills, 4 deaths, and differential of 8. 11th place is the Scions of Amaris' Cataphract. 10 kills, 2 losses for 8 differential. And then finally, in 12th place for my reading anyway, it's going to be the Neon Grizzlies Timberwolf. 10 kills with 3 deaths for a differential of 7.
In 13th, we have the Neutral Reaver's Orion 2C with 10 kills, 3 deaths for a differential of 7 points. Yogi's Jaegers comes in on number 14, their Daishi, 11 kills, 4 deaths for a differential of 7. Number 15, Wendigo's Nightstalker's Zenthos, 12 kills, 5 deaths, also a differential of 7. And number 16, the Collection Agency's Highlander, 7 kills, 1 death for a differential of 6.
That'll take us into 17th position, Hank's Handy's Gunslinger, with 9 kills, 3 deaths for a differential of 6. Laser Force's Thug picks up 18th slot with 9 kills, 3 deaths, and a differential of 6. The Scions of Amaris, Templar, slides in at 19 with 9 kills, 3 in its last game, 3 deaths for a differential of 6. And the Ghost Legion Gunslinger rounds out the last place of 20 with 10 kills, 4 deaths for a differential of 6 as well.
And that's a wrap. Our regular season's done. So let's take a quick look at where everyone's final placements are going into playoffs. In first place, we have JP running the Neutral Reaver's Lance for the faction of the Crusader clans. In second place, Brett comes in with his Ghost Legion Lance for the faction of the Draconis Combine. Jeff is in number 3 with the Scions of Amaris for the St. Ives faction. Lee in at number 4 with Dead Man's Hand in for the Periphery. 5th is Gary, the Renaissance Irregulars, going for the Merc faction. Number 6 is Scott with the Neon Grizzlies and the Warden clans. Number 7 is Andre with his First Alliance Grenadiers, pulling for the Lyran faction. And rounding out the top 8 is Keenan with Laser Force, running with the Capellans.
Moving on to the B division. 9th place, we have Darren with Hank's Handies, representing the Mercs. 10th place is OG with the Riston's Rogues, representing the St. Ives. 11th place is Aaron with the Ice Creamers, the Mercs with a Mouth.
No, he's just a nothing nerd.
12th is Will with Yogi's Jaegers, representing the Warden clans. Right behind him in 13th place is Matt with the Cat's Nightingale Cavalry, also the Warden clans. 14th is Jay, the Wendigo's Night Stalkers, representing the Capellans. 15th is Cal with the Collection Agency, representing Comstar. And rounding out 16th place for the B division, Jared, League of Robots for the St. Ives.
That'll bring us into Seaside. Slot number 17, we have Corey, Ansgar's Outlaws, representing the Crusader clans. In 18th place, we have Heather, stable master of Blitzkrieg Jezebels for the Free Razzlehog Republic. 19th place, we have Brandon, Warthog's Revenge stable, representing Federated Sons. Position 20 goes to Todd with his Ward's Warwolves and the Crusader clans. 21 is Devin, the Black Wake, representing Comstar. Slot 22 goes to Kale, the Steel Shod Shamble, representing the St. Ives Compact. Slot 23, we have Chris, House Psychotic Weasel from the Free Worlds League. And lastly, in Seaside, we have our other Chris with Paxton's Pathfinders for the Federated Sons.
Now on to the D side. In 25th place, we have James with the 4th Taurian Protectorate, representing the Periphery. 26th place is Alex with the Wolf Pack, representing Federated Sons. 27th slot is Paul with the Lights Out team, who are Comstar. 28th place is our very own Laura with Thumper's Revenge, representing the Capellans. 29th, Carlo with the Lyran Rangers, representing Lyrans.
Shocking!
30th spot is Todd with Odin's Chosen for the Free Razzlehog Republic. 31st is our third Chris in League this year, the El Marquia, the Elk Riders. I'm never going to be able to say it. Sorry, Chris. Being the Mercs. And last but not least, we have John in 32nd position, Clan Cobra Chicken with the Free Worlds League. Now, let's have a little talk about how the playoffs work, as they're a little bit different from regular season play. First off, there are no tie games. Games will be determined by kills 4, then crippled mechs, and then, if it's needed, we'll start counting pips of damage taken by the mechs still standing on the field. And if by some miracle it's still a tie, and we have never seen it, but just in case the pip count is also tied, we do a dice roll-off.
Everyone in each division plays on the same map. A-side finals will play on map 1, B-side finals map 2, C-side on map 3, and D-side map 4. Playoffs will only have 4 maps in rotation, and each division will play on 3 of the 4. This way, nobody can say, well, my map pull lost me the playoff slot.
And no rematches. If you can't make your game, your opponent gets the win, as this is a single elimination, folks. However, once a team is knocked out, they go into a pool if they want, and Brett will manually match up players to the best of their ability against the other opponent if they didn't see them in the regular season. This lets everyone play 13 games and hopefully see as many new or different opponents as possible.
Alright then, that's all been explained by everybody. It is as clear as mud. Let's have a look at round 1 matches, starting with D, then C, then B, and, surprise, surprise, lastly the A division. Game number 1, we have Thumper's Revenge with 0 wins, 4 losses, and 6 ties, up against the Lyran Rangers with 1 win, 7 losses, 2 ties. Oh, Laura, it would have been so easy to be able to pick a tie for this one. You'd be able to get your 7th tie. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say it is a tie, and we're counting pips. The winner will end up being the Thumper's Revenge team, because I think you have more experience, and your matches, your opponents were beat up. So even though you had 6 ties, your opponents did take a beating. I'll almost say it's a 1-1 tie.
I think this is going to be a Thumper's Revenge 1-0 game.
I don't know what to expect from round 1 matches. Whether you've seen the person or not, it's... unless you face them actually game 10, there's enough difference in the lance and how they play that it's unpredictable. I think it's going to come down to being dice, whose is hot and whose isn't. And since I can't really vote against myself to lose. I think Brett's right. I think it's only going to be 1-0.
Game number 2, the Lights Out with 2 wins, 7 losses, and 1 tie, up against Odin's Chosen with 2 wins, 1 of which is a bye, 8 losses, and 0 ties. I think Lights Out are going to win this with a 3-2 victory.
I'm going to also say that it's Lights Out, and it's going to be a 3-1 because, well, he has a plan. B-side champion all the way.
I agree. It will be Lights Out. I actually think he's going to get a 4 count. I think it'll be 4-2. Game number 3, we have the Wolfpack with 2 wins, 6 losses, and 2 ties, going up against the Elk Riders with 1 bye win, 7 losses, and 2 ties. I think Alex is going to go far, if not all the way, get a second championship under his belt. I think the Wolfpack will win. I think it'll be a 3-1.
That's a pretty bold prediction, or statement anyway, considering you're in the same division as him. But that's okay, I can respect that. I also believe Wolfpack is going to take the win this time. I think it's going to be a 4-1 victory.
We've seen a lot of growth in the new players this season. Elk Riders, Odin, Chosen, a lot of the guys that are first-time league members, they've shown a lot of growth and adaptability to the way the league plays things. That being said, Alex is a B-side champion. I see him coming at this with the same attitude and the same drive he had when he won the B-side championship. It's going to be the Wolfpack, and it's going to be a 3-1.
Yeah, when you look at things, he may have had a rough season, but season's over. Playoffs is a brand new thing.
Whole new, and experience is going to mean a lot. Game number 4, the 4th Torian Protectorate with 2 wins, 6 losses, and 2 ties. Well, they're up against Clan Cobra Chicken with 1 bye win, 8 losses, and a single tie. This is John's bag. He loves playoffs. He'll come in way more aggressive than he normally does, play a little bit sharper, and he's going to get in there and try to play. That being said, the 4th Torian Protectorate has actually won a game and has driven 2 people to ties. If you look at their records, the Torian Protectorate should win. They've got just wins and ties that they fought, and they've played some really good players this year. I am going to say that it's going to be close, but I think Clan Cobra Chicken is going to actually get their first win. It's going to be 3-2.
I'm going to disagree with you in the sense that I think it's the 4th Torian Protectorate taking home the win, but I do agree that it's going to be a 3-2 game.
Unfortunately, I think the 4th Torian Protectorate has a bit more of drive, but if dice feel lucky, it could swing the other way. But my prediction is the 4th Torian, and I think it will actually only be... Nope, I think I agree with the guys. 3-2.
So just to elaborate on my prediction a little bit, I think it's going to be 2 kills, both sides, with a 3rd mech being crippled. Well, that's a wrap on our first division. Let's talk about our second division, Division C. Game number 1, the Ward's Werewolves with 4 victories, 6 losses, and 0 ties, up against the Black Wake with 3 victories, 5 losses, and 2 ties. These numbers read differently, but they're very similar for how they've played in the season. We've got Clan Tech versus C3I, and I think I'm going to give it to the Black Wake. Devin is going to pull out a win here with a 3-1 victory.
Ward's Werewolves have probably the 2nd scariest clan lance in League. Pod just has to make it work for him. He's got to be in there. He's got to make sure that he focuses fire on the right guy. And when I mean in there, I don't mean close range. He's got phenomenal long-range firepower. He does not need to be close. Play the game, hammer the Black Wake, and you're going to win. I'm going to say Wards or Wolves are going to win the game, and it's going to be a 4-2. I think Todd might have C division.
He'll be a tough cookie to break, that's for sure. I think I'm going to agree. I think it will be Wards Werewolves, but I think the score's going to be, I think it'll be 3-1. Game number 2 in the C division, we have Warthog's Revenge with 4 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. Going up against Steel Shod Shamble with 4 wins, 1 of which is a bye win, 6 losses, and 0 ties. I'm not entirely sure what it's about people in W's or the alliteration on their lances this year, but oh my god, it's so hard. Wards Werewolves, Steel Shod Shamble. Really?
Radiant Ravens Raiders last year.
Yeah. But to punish myself, I think it will be a Steel Shod Shamble win, and I think it'll be a 3-2.
I'm really torn on this one because I think both of these teams have the potential to be Seaside champion. And I think I'm going to go with Brandon on this one. I think he is going to pull out a win, but I think it's going to be a 4-3. And probably a 3-3 with 1 cripple.
That's a really good point. I'm having a hard time with this. First off, the two teams' standings, regular season standings, are really close. Their records are right on the wire. I know this is not where Brandon wanted to be. He wanted to be B or A. Being in C isn't a downgrade. He definitely has a chance of winning a good championship. Steel Shod Shambles are a hard team to beat. I'm going to agree with you, Brett. It's going to be Warthog's Revenge. I think Brandon is not done yet. I think it's going to be a 3-2. It's going to be close. Game number 3, we have the Blitzkrieg Jezebels. 4 wins, 1 of which is a bye win, 3 losses and 3 ties. They're up against the Psychotic Weasels with 2 wins, 5 losses and 3 ties. Both these teams lost their last game. However, the Psychotic Weasels are on a bad slide. Lost the last 3 games 4-0. Like, it's been bad. His confidence is a little bit low. Heather has a lance that can definitely outmaneuver the Psychotic Weasels. He's kind of slow. I think the Blitzkrieg Jezebels are going to win this, and it's not because it's my wife. I think, honestly, goodness, she has the better lance for accuracy. I think she's going to win it, and it's going to be a 3-2 because I don't think they're getting enough turns in for that 4th kill.
I do tend to agree with pretty much everything you said there, Lee. I think it's going to be Blitzkrieg Jezebels, 2-2 victory with pip count.
Oh, I don't know. I'm actually hoping that 4-week break between Game 10 and first round playoffs is enough to have Chris shake the cobwebs off. Because I'd like to be able to see him go more than... Well, I'd like to see him in the finals for Seaside. Yes, I think the Psychotic Weasels will win it. I think I agree with Brett, though. I think it's going to be Psychotic Weasels 3-3 with a pip count.
Game number 4, Ansgar's Outlaws with 4 wins, 4 losses, and 2 ties, up against Paxton's Pathfinders with 3 wins, 7 losses, and 0 ties. This has been Paxton's Pathfinder's best year so far, but the Outlaws are a pretty tough team to come up against. They've got the clan tech, he's a solid enough player. He tends to be a little bit lucky sometimes, and Paxton's Pathfinders, they do bring a lot of luck. it's just usually not all that great. So I think I'm going to go with Ansgar's Outlaws. I think it's going to be probably a 4-1.
If it wasn't the playoffs, I'd call an upset. I think Paxton's Pathfinders has a great lance. Like, amazingly enough, even with my on the Cyclops, the rest of his lance is really solid. The Paxton's Pathfinders have a solid lance. Like, they do. If they're hard to kill, very accurate, he's having a good season, but I can't see him taking out Ansgar's Outlaws. Corey has been solid every game he's played in every season he's played. I'm going to say Ansgar's Outlaws are going to win this. I think it's going to be a 4-2. I think, and it's going to be a close 4-2. I think the two mechs that are going to walk off the board are going to be pretty much in pieces.
I hate going third and having to agree with you guys. It's happened all year. I do agree, though. I think Ansgar's Outlaws is going to take it. I'm not sure if Paxton's is going to give him a chance to get all four. I think it'll be a 3-2. And next up, Division B, game number 1. Yogi's Jaegers with 4 wins, 2 losses, and 4 ties. Going up against Cat's Cavalry with 5 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie. I don't know. I feel like these teams are like even Steven. If this was regular season, these guys could easily pull out a tie and stick to it. Unfortunately, because, well, we don't do ties in playoffs. I think Cat's Cavalry is going to pull out the win. To sound like Lee and Brett, it's going to be a close win. I think it'll be 4-3.
I think this is going to be another loss in Cat's Cavalry's side there. I think the Yogi Jaegers are going to get the win. I think it's going to be some lucky shots that pull it down. And I think that we're going to see the Blood Ash die this round. We're going to go with a 3-1 though. And we'll see how it goes.
I feel both of you are hitting it right on the head. These two teams could absolutely pull a tie out.
Or for a roll off.
Yeah, both teams have such great lances. Like the 2 ERPPCs on that Blood Asp versus the 3 large pulse lasers and I think it's a gauze rifle on the Jaeger's Daishi. They're just thumping the heck out of each other. I think Will has this one. I think it's Yogi Jaeger. Yogi's Jaegers definitely has the win on this one, only because I think his pulse weapons and his play is going to stymie Cat, to make Matt kind of stumble. It's going to be better than 3-1, though. I think it's going to be 4-3. Game number 2 of the B-side playoffs, we have the Ice Creamers with 5 wins, 3 losses, 2 ties, up against the Wendigos Night Stalkers with 5 wins, 4 losses, and a single tie. Another team with two teams with really close records, and 2 teams that are definitely B-side champion or A-side contenders. Aaron's actually already been an A-side champion. B-side champion. I think Ice Creamers win this one. I think they do. I think they win this because they want to get a second B-side championship under their belt. And I'm going to say it's going to be a 4-2.
I think if Wendigo Night Stalkers had played anybody but Painter on round 10, he'd be an A-side instead of one of our other players up there. I think this is going to be a pip count game at 3-3 final count. I think the Wendigo Night Stalkers are a little bit more resilient, which is going to cost them because they're going to take more damage before dropping, so the Ice Creamers get the win overall.
I think you guys are right. I think Aaron has more of a drive to win, get a second championship. I have to agree with Lee completely. I think it's the Ice Creamers. It'll be 4-2.
Game number 3, Riston's Rogues with 5 wins, 2 losses, and 3 ties, versus the Collection Agency with 4 wins, 3 losses, and 3 ties. I think we got to go with the Rogues on this one. I think it's going to be a pretty straightforward victory. 4-2. No real questions asked, just a good game played.
I think the kid gloves are off. I think Jeff's going to be looking to play this as long as he can so he can run into people he hasn't played before. And I think he's going to really take it to Cal and make Cal fight every inch of the game. So Riston Rogues are going to win this one. It's going to be 4-3.
I think, kid gloves. Not anymore. I think Jeff is shooting for the top now. Riston's Rogues is going to take it. Again, I think... Actually, no. I think it'll be a 4-2. Riston's Rogues 4-2.
Why didn't you agree with me more like this years ago?
They're just numbers.
You're too full of yourself, son.
Game number 4 in the B division. We have Hank's Handies with 6 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie, going up against the League of Rogobots. 4 wins, 3 losses, 3 ties. I had fun playing Jared. He was a tough 0-0 tie. I think Hank's Handies have it though. I think they're going to win this game. I think it'll be 3-1.
Darren is a better player than Jared. Darren has been playing longer than Jared and should have been in A-side finals possibly last year, possibly this year. He's that kind of a caliber of player, and it just comes up to some of his matches. I am going to go with a happy ending here in a 3-1 victory as well.
Man, now I feel bad for Jared and feel like I should call for him.
He's okay. Nah. He understands the game. He also knows that he just showed up to throw dice and play games.
The problem is I do agree with you. Hank's Handies is going to win this game. Darren, I have been paying attention to you all season. I've just been playing. I think you have a great team. Yeah, and you could have easily have been in A-side. Jared, you've played a good season as well. You've won games. You're in the positive numbers. I just think Hank's Handies has a better lance. So it's going to be Hank's Handies, and I'm going to say, heck, we'll go 3-1 as well.
Either we're all right, or we're all wrong.
Last but not least, this brings us to the A-side matches. Game number 1, we have the Dead Man's Hand. Yay! 7 wins, 2 losses, 1 tie. Up against Gary with the Red Sons Irregulars, my buddy. We just got finished playing our game in Game 10. 7 wins, 1 of which is a bye win, 2 losses, 1 tie. We couldn't be any closer. We are paired up, matched up, ready to rock and roll. He whooped my butt in the B-side playoffs last year. I handed him his butt last game. It was closer than that, but I'm gonna call it that I handed him his butt. I gotta win this one. Dead Man's Hand's gotta move on. And I'm trying to get back playing against you, Brett. I owe you. It's going to be a 4-2, and it's going to be a great game.
It is going to be a great game. It is going to be a 4-2 for the Red Sons Irregulars because it's his turn to win in the rotation. You won the last game. He's going to win this game.
I know he's coming for me. He's going to be chewing at the bit because he feels that game he lost against me should have been closer. So it's going to be a good game.
I wish I kind of could just sit and watch this one.
Set up a camera and then we can.
Nah, that's creepy. I think, he's gunning for you. I don't think you're going to make it easy on them, by far, unless your dice decide to just keel over and die. But I think Dead Man's Hands has it. I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be 4-3.
Game number 2, Scions of Amaris, 7 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie, going up against the Neon Grizzlies, 7 wins, 1 of which is a bye, 2 losses, and 1 tie. I think the Scions of Amaris are going to take this one. I don't think it's too terribly on the nose to call it that way. Neon Grizzlies have had a really good season, and I think if they had come up against somebody other than the Scions on round 1, they'd probably be moving on to second or even possibly finals. I think this is going to be... I don't think he's going to get his 4-1 blowouts on this match. I think it's probably going to be a 4-3 final.
This is another one of those really hard ones to call. Neon's Grizzlies, it's Hamilton. He's coming at this with a phenomenally strong lance. The Clanners outdid themselves this year in picking their mechs and their skills.
Kodiak Timberwolf combo is dangerous.
And the fact that you got a Timberwolf that, as weird as it is, works really well. Sons of Amaris have been dominant all season. He could have easily been first place if JP had even been average. But JP was hitting lights out every game. I'm going to say this is going to be an upset. The Neon Grizzlies are going to win this one, and it is going to be a 4-3. I think Clan Tech is going to win it out.
Well, so much for me calling break the tie and again, break the tie. I can't even say I'm calling for the underdog because
they're almost identical.
They're both pretty much, the same strength. Like it's gonna come down to how the map works for them or against them, and the dice. I want to see the Neon Grizzlies go to the next round. Neon Grizzlies, but I think it's only going to be 4-2. Game number 3, A Division. Ghost Legion with 8 wins, 1 of which is a bye win, 2 losses and 0 ties, going up against the First Alliance Grenadiers with 7 wins, 1 of which is a bye win, 3 losses and 0 ties. It's going to be a Ghost Legion win. Because I have to agree with Lee, I would love to see the two of you see each other in the second round playoffs.
Yeah, normally I pull 4-2s for my victories. I think this is going to be a harder match, and I think it's going to be a 4-3.
Somehow I missed recording my own voice, so my prediction was Ghost Legion 4-3.
Game number 4, finishing off round 1 of the playoffs. We have the Neutral Reavers with 9 wins, 1 loss, 0 ties, up against Laser Force, 6 wins, 3 losses, and a single tie. I'm not going to waste anybody's time here. I've been saying this all season. Neutral Reavers win. It's going to be 4-1. He's just that dominant.
Neutral Reavers 4-0.
I think I'm going to agree with Brett. I think it'll be 4-0. Neutral Reavers.
Now, like we do every year, we do a little bit of advanced predictions. We pick somebody for each of the divisions, and we hope that they're the winners, and we may have big bragging rights. But really, it's playoffs. Everything is fresh and new, and you never really know what goes. So we're going to start off with D Division. We have in D Division, again, just to really quickly summarize, 4th Taurian Protectorate, the Wolfpack, Lights Out, Thumper's Revenge, Lyran Rangers, Odin's Chosen, the Elk Riders, and Clan Cobra Chickens. I like this division. I think I'm going to throw my money on the kid, and Alex with the Wolfpack takes home a 2nd championship.
As much as I think Alex could take the top spot in D. I actually hope that James's dice are rockin' 5-star. I want to see James at the top. 4th Taurian Protectorate winning.
As for me, I'm going to go with Paul with the Lights Out group. His Comstar Lance is really solid. It took him all season to finally get it worked together. I think he has the tech and the skill to be able to pull out 3 wins. I'm going with Paul. Moving on to C Division. Seaside, Best Side. In this group, I have a lot of faith in the teams that are in there, especially the clanners. They have some solid strength clan units. I am going to go with Todd with Ward's Werewolves. And I think they're going to end up taking it.
I'm torn. There's 3 people in this division that I can easily see being the victors. I can see the Black Wake, Warthog's Revenge, or Ansgar's Outlaws coming out on top of this. I would like to throw my hat into Warthog's Revenge, but I'm pretty confident that it's Ansgar's Outlaws overall.
Both are good choices. But I actually think Devin might have what it takes to take C. So I'm going to say I'd like to see the Black Wake at the top.
You think they're going to start getting murky from this point, because both Heather with the Blitzkrieg Jezebels, Warthog's Revenge, the Black Wake, Steelshot Shambles, that all 8 of those guys have great lances.
It's a really tough division.
Yeah, and Seaside is Best Side. I do agree, Laura, even if you're not in C this year, C pulls the players with probably the most journeyman lances, like really solid lances.
On to B Division. B Division, we have Darren with Hank's Handies, Jeff with Riston's Rogues, Aaron with the Ice Creamers, Will with Yogi's Jaggers, Matt with Cat's Nightingale Cavalry, Jay with Wendigo Night Stalkers, Cal with the Collection Agency, and Jared with the League of Robots to summarize. I can't not throw this under OG's bus. We're going Riston's Rogues. Although there's a couple other teams in there I'd like to see. I think having an A-side champion that dropped down into B-side for win-loss ratio, he's probably going to swing the predictability into his favor.
I can see the B-side final being Jeff and Aaron. But I think Brett's right. I think Riston's Rogues are going to take the B-side championship.
We could almost make this a 3-person agreement, mainly because one of the 2 clanners are going to knock each other out.
Yep.
Right at the first round. I think OG's going to win this. Riston's Rogues is going to take B-side. He's going to have a heck of a fight out of the second round and finals, but I think it's going to be OG. Riston's Rogues B-side champion.
Yeah, if it wasn't Matt and Will in round 1, I could see definitely one of them being, and flip a coin, but either of them being in finals.
Yeah, in the final, absolutely.
All right, last but not least, A Division. We have first place JP with the Neutral Reavers, second place Brett with the Ghost Legion, third place Jeff with the Scions of Amaris, fourth place we have Lee and Dead Man's Hand, fifth is Gary with Red Sons Irregulars, sixth place we have Scott with the Neon Grizzlies, seventh is Andre with the First Alliance Grenadiers, and 8th place is Keenan with the Laser Force. I would like to see anybody take it. But with the way his season has gone, I think JP is going to take top spot.
I am going to do everything I can to make that not happen, Laura. and I'm hoping Brett has the same attitude. Unfortunately, I do have to agree. I want to be the top, but I think JP's Lance is just unstoppable this year. I don't even want to face him. Like, if I do have to play him, it's going to be the worst day of Battletech League for me. Not because of who I'm playing against, but because of the force he's brought to the table. It's going to be JP Neutral Reavers. Absolutely.
I can't beat JP at the best of times. He's kind of my kryptonite. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. He could have brought 4 urban mechs, and for how our games play out, he'd beat me. So I'm hoping he loses round 1 due to dumb luck, and then I take overall A-side champion. If that doesn't happen, JP wins overall without any kind of question. Neutral Reavers.
All right, everybody, that's the end of the show for this week. I do want to remind the players that nominations for the Good Egg Award, the Master Tactician, and the Phoenix Hawk Memorial Award are over. We are now on to voting, so please get your votes in between now and the end of the finals. Please get those in so we can get the awards set up and make sure that the winners get their prizes. Anyway, see you guys in a couple of days.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in one more time for our very first playoffs of this season. It's been a pleasure having everybody in the season, and thank you very much to all of our listeners. Please keep tuning in. We like your comments. We like your feedback. And give us some ideas for off-season, because that'll be upon us before we can even think about it.
We'll see you all on game day. Ciao!
Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.